Alright guys, so we talked a lot about the turtles and how awesome all of the champions basically are. We talked a lot about Leonardo of course as well. But there's also something where you can really easily cheese the Scarab if you are going through the Doom Tower. And if you're on a newer account, for example, the turtles are super helpful there. Since everybody currently has Michelangelo, I just want to show you a couple of things with him right now. Because for my account, it was in the Doom Tower rotation that's currently active. Quite the breakthrough, so let's go over it really quickly and have a look at Michelangelo and how you can actually go through basically the entire normal Doom Tower and even more with the Scarab without putting any real effort into it. So when we're talking about Michelangelo, the main thing is really his passive here right now. Because when we're talking about this, you have the active effect of placing a shield onto him depending on his attack. And this really helps you with the Scarab. Now, just as a little bit of a teaser, for me the Doom Tower initially was actually quite easy. And up to level 100 on normal, what you can basically do is you just let Leonardo solo everything without any adjustments. Now, when I broke through 100, I actually changed things slightly. Now, it depends a little bit on what you have available as your lineup. For me, always one of the problems was that I don't have a lot of champions that provide you with a shield. Now, you have a couple of options of what you can actually do. You can operate through a shield set, of course. You can also try and get some of the max damage in. Amiga is sometimes very useful here. You can use a destroy set to be a little bit more active. What I, for example, did, I just brute forced it more or less by getting my Grave Wolf in, and he has a lot of survivability and just kept applying the attack speed debuff on the boss, and that really helped me a lot. So you can do that. I also played a little bit with Anchorite because he has on his A1, even if he gets taunted, which is quite regularly, on his A1 he has a heal that helps me a lot. And you can of course do a couple of other things. I, for example, also have at least one champion that is going to give me a shield, but I haven't really used him too much here simply because he's too slow. So by the time that he would apply the shield, he's already taunted and then starts using his A1. But what I essentially want to get back down to is that for a boss where you only are breaking through once, it's actually worth it sometimes to just swap your gear a little bit and then try and break it through one time. Because I really don't want to change a lot of the setups that I have here for my champions. And as I said before, with my lineup, with Grave Wolf and with Anchorite, sometimes a bit of a change in leader for a different aura, I can break through this. There's a little bit of RNG involved for me, but it works. But you can absolutely brute force your way through this very easily with Michelangelo solo if you want to. And the way that we do this is actually quite simple. So in this case, we're just going quickly over a couple of additional items, and we're going to equip ourselves with a life set. So let me have a quick look here. We're putting the fitting room on, and with the life set, for example, it doesn't have to be fancy. Like, this doesn't really have to be anything crazy. I just want to have a little bit more lifesteal right now on me, because this is going to empower me to very easily then break through it. And all I essentially need is the sustain. So this is essentially what we're going to aim for right now. I think I have gloves lying around here somewhere that are not like too horrible. Crit rates, there we go. So we have a little bit of crit rate on this. So as you can see on the stats, I actually will move my screen here quickly just so I have a bit of an idea of what we're working with. I basically still have 100% crit rate. I lose a lot of my crit damage. I also lose a little bit of my attack. And generally, all I want to really do here is I want to have that lifesteal set. And if you are going through Scarab 100 and it's really just the bottleneck that you can't break through, then that's totally worth it. So we're going to equip this real quickly. The benefit of the setup right now is I have more sustain and I'm also a little bit faster. So we're going to equip that. I can also always go back later, and then we're going to run it with just simply Michelangelo, and that's all that we're going to do here. Now I have also a mastery on him that whenever I kill a champion I get additional 6% speed, so I'm going to be much faster throughout all of this. It can take a little bit of time, you have to break through the waves obviously, but generally speaking this lineup is going to empower you to go and break through that stage. Now you have to sacrifice your gear for at least that one run, but afterwards you can just re-gear him quickly. For runs previously I didn't even have to re-gear him. He was already breaking through with just the shield alone. In this one, it turned out that towards the end of the run, it actually became a bit dicey. Now, if you have much better gear than I have, then you might not even have to get him into a lifesteal gear. There's other options, of course, too. I suppose if you have really nice damage regeneration gear, you could use that as well. If you have a proper destroy set lying around that is really good, you can use it and break through the shield on the Scarab King. But it depends a little bit on what you have lying around. Since I used a lot of Life Leech gear previously in order to get through Dragon and some other areas, this is something that I can easily play with. But he is going to have that sustain. And the run is going to take a while, so I'm just going to speed the video up a little bit here. But the idea is just to show you how this works, what you can do, and that if you have troubles with the Scarab right now, you can just solo literally everything, at least in the normal Doom Tower, and even parts of Hard by using Michelangelo solo or with a couple of other champions, depending on your lineup. So just a little trick here, since a lot of people don't seem to be aware of it just yet. So as you can see here, the run is going pretty smoothly. There's no great gear on Michelangelo right now. I think my amulet is actually a 4-star amulet. But you can break through this super easily. His passive, the leech that he applies, it all helps you with the extra sustain. And if you have gear that is better than what I'm using here on him, you're obviously going to be so much faster as well. And as I said, I have some 5-star gear on him right now. The only important thing is that you go for Life Leech, that you have a bit of extra sustain. As I said, there's other sets that would work as well. I'm pretty sure if you put him in a decent destroy set, he would also eliminate the boss quite easily. It's just a matter of time. You have to swap out your gear once, and then once you beat the boss, you can, you know, just go back in right away. But this is essentially how you play through it. So the one thing I should probably point out is he is nearly fully booked. So I have most of the books currently in. I'm missing the cooldown reduction on my A2 right now, but at least my A3 is fully booked. The rest will be booked soon. And as I said, we have some 5-star gear. I mean, again, if you look, for example, at my gloves, it's crit rate. It's not even crit damage. My total crit damage at this point is barely over 100%. So this isn't really fantastic gear or anything. This is something that everybody should essentially have lying around there. But if you have any problems with the Scarab King, that's how you beat him. That's how you can easily cheese him. Right now, everybody has Michelangelo. I mean, it was a champion that you could get for free. Still can, by the way, just simply by logging in. So this is the way to do it. So if you still had some troubles and you didn't know it, I hope that little trick helps you and that you can break through the Scarab King and that it helps you with your Doom Power progress. If it did, give the video a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate the support on this. Write a comment if you have any problems, if you have any questions around gearing or whatever else it might be. And well, thanks for watching, everybody. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.